Isaac was on the brink of a career breakthrough, and he knew it. A young architect with a reputation for meticulous work, he had been preparing for this moment for weeks. Today, he was set to present a major proposal at his firm, a chance to prove himself and secure a long-desired promotion. The rain came down hard as he hurried through the bustling streets of the city, feeling the usual pressure building inside him. The weight of his ambition drove him forward, the familiar anxiety of needing to succeed clouding his thoughts. Then, amidst the sea of umbrellas and rain-soaked commuters, Isaac saw something that jolted him out of his focus. Near the subway entrance, an older man in a heavy coat stumbled, clutching his chest. People were moving past him, too absorbed in their own lives to notice. Isaac hesitated, his mind racing. If he stopped, he'd miss the meeting, he'd lose his shot. But another glance at the man's pained expression was enough. He rushed to help, catching the man just before he collapsed. "Are you all right, sir?" Isaac asked, his voice strained with concern. The man, barely able to speak, nodded weakly. Isaac quickly flagged down a taxi and accompanied him to the nearest clinic, staying by his side until the doctors assured him the man would be okay. By the time he left, his clothes were drenched and his phone buzzed with missed calls and messages. He was late, disastrously late. By the time he got to the office, his worst fears were confirmed. The pitch had gone ahead without him, and his absence had not gone unnoticed. "You're too late, Isaac," his supervisor said coldly. "We needed someone reliable, and you weren't here. I'm sorry, but you're no longer part of the team." Isaac's world shattered at that moment. All his hard work, his sacrifices seemed to mean nothing. Numb and defeated, he packed up his desk the next day, ready to leave the job he had dedicated years to. As he collected his things, he replayed the previous day over and over in his mind. Had he made the right choice? Had helping that man been worth it? Lost in thought, Isaac barely noticed when a colleague approached him. "Someone left this for you," she said, handing him a business card. Isaac stared at it, puzzled, recognizing the name. The man he had helped, Harlan Thompson, wasn't just any elderly man. He was a retired urban developer, still respected and well-connected in the field. Intrigued, Isaac decided to visit Harlan a few days later, uncertain of what to expect. When he arrived at Harlan's home, he was warmly greeted and invited inside. Harlan, looking healthier, thanked him sincerely for his timely help, explaining how serious his health scare had been. But the meeting quickly turned into something much more unexpected. Harlan had learned of Isaac's dismissal and was impressed by the young architect's selflessness. He had a project in mind, a large community revitalization initiative that needed fresh vision and leadership. "I want you to lead it," Harlan said, his eyes sincere. "I've been looking for someone with not just talent, but heart. Your decision to help me, even at the cost of your career, tells me you're that person." Isaac couldn't believe what he was hearing. He hesitated at first, hesitant to get his hopes up, but after considering his options, he accepted. It wasn't long before he was immersed in the most challenging, yet rewarding project of his life. The job was different from anything he had ever done before. Instead of designing sleek, impersonal buildings for wealthy clients, he was now focused on breathing new life into neglected neighborhoods, creating parks, community centers, and housing that truly served the people who lived there. It was hard work, and the long hours didn't disappear, but there was a purpose now. Isaac met with residents, listened to their needs, and designed spaces that brought the community together. Slowly, the abandoned streets transformed into vibrant, welcoming places. The satisfaction of seeing children play in a park he had helped design or watching neighbors come together at a community event was unlike any feeling he had experienced before. The stress that had once consumed him began to fade, replaced by a sense of fulfillment he had never thought possible. Months later, the project's success caught the attention of the media, and Isaac found himself featured in a local news article. It wasn't long before other cities began contacting him, asking for advice, seeking similar projects. His reputation grew, but this time, it wasn't about status or money, it was about making a difference. One day, as Isaac walked through the transformed neighborhood, he spotted Harlan sitting on a bench, watching children play in the park. Isaac joined him, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. They talked about the journey, the unexpected twists that had brought them together. "You know," Harlan said, a smile in his eyes, "sometimes we're so focused on chasing what we think we want that we miss the opportunities that really matter." Isaac nodded, understanding those words more deeply than he ever had before. In his quest for corporate success, he had almost lost sight of what made him love architecture in the first place, creating spaces that made life better for people. It had taken a moment of compassion and an unexpected twist of fate to show him the path that truly mattered. As the years went by, Isaac continued to work on projects that mattered, becoming a respected name in sustainable and community-focused architecture. His career flourished, not because he chased after titles or recognition, but because he had found his purpose. Looking back, he often thought about that rainy morning and the choice he made. It had cost him his job, but it gave him a future he never could have imagined, a future where success was measured not in accolades, but in the lives he touched. Isaac learned that sometimes the greatest opportunities come not from sticking to the plan, but from embracing the unexpected, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. And he knew with certainty that he had made the right choice.